There is a minor detail on this $1.25 garden light that even store employees won't tell you, and it is the exact reason why 12 items on today's list constantly vanish from shelves within just a few days. You'd be awesome if you subscribed and liked this video. 1. Solar garden stakes. A small panel mounted right on top of the light fixture silently does all the work, absorbing sunlight during the day and automatically turning on at night without you having to press a button or run extension cords out to the yard. Thanks to this, the metal stake is sturdy enough to be driven into the ground without bending and can withstand a full summer of wind and rain without rusting. You just push it into the ground, twist it slightly to secure the base, and that's it. No need to read a manual and no extra tools required. I tested 6 of them along my backyard walkway at the beginning of summer. After several heavy rainstorms, not a single one has gone out or rusted. Only the stake base got a bit muddy, which cleans right up with a quick wipe. A premium 4 to 6 piece set at Costco usually runs around $25, which breaks down to nearly $5 per light. Here, you pay $1.25 and buy the exact quantity you need, without having to commit to a massive combo pack for a small balcony. Notably, the color-changing dragonfly and butterfly versions are always the most sought after, partly due to their eye-catching design, and partly because the shifting colors create a nighttime focal point, without needing any extra decorations. Additionally, you can detach the stake and place the light head directly into hanging planters or tabletop potted plants, instantly turning it into indoor decor. Right now, in the middle of summer, ahead of occasions like Memorial Day or the 4th of July, many families buy a dozen at a time to illuminate their backyards for outdoor cookouts, which is why shelves in this section empty out very quickly during these peak weeks. However, there is a detail on this light that few people notice. It isn't located in the lighting fixture itself, but right on the stake base. And that is exactly what makes the next item equally worth talking about. 2. Terracotta clay pots. In the heat of summer, when many families are busy refreshing their gardens or repotting outdoor plants before the sun reaches its peak, the gardening section at many locations often gets completely cleared out of large-sized pots within the first 2 days of the week right after the delivery truck unloads. For that reason, the first item worth hunting for first thing tomorrow morning is the traditional terracotta clay pot. Unlike thin plastic varieties that easily become brittle and crack after one sunny season, this terracotta pot is made of real fired clay, giving it a solid weight and excellent shape retention through years of outdoor use. Specifically, the surface of the pot features microscopic pores that are hard to see with the naked eye. Yet, it is thanks to these pores that plant roots can breathe and excess water drains naturally, minimizing root rot, one of the most common reasons why houseplants gradually die without owners knowing why. The 6-inch size is the top seller because it is just right for most indoor plants without being too bulky to place on desks or windowsills. At only $1.25 per pot, while the same size at Home Depot or Lowe's typically fluctuates from $2.50 to $4 depending on the brand, you save nearly half the cost with just one stop at Dollar Tree. Therefore, if you need a large quantity for a replanting project, it is best to track the delivery truck schedule as mentioned above. Beyond planting, many people repurpose these terracotta pots into pin holders for their desks, bringing a rustic feel completely different from industrial plastic. Or flip them upside down to use as minimalist candle holders, which fits perfectly with rustic or farmhouse-style home decor. 3. Bai Kupang Strawberry Kiwi Electrolyte Drink. After a session of gardening or clearing the yard under the scorching summer sun, the body loses water faster than you think, and this is exactly when this bottle of electrolyte drink comes in handy. It features real fruit extract flavor, completely free of artificial sweeteners, combined with a calibrated potassium and sodium content to quickly replenish minerals for the body after outdoor activities. The strawberry kiwi flavor is the most popular in this product line, partly due to its refreshing, easy-to-drink sweetness, and partly because it does not leave a harsh aftertaste in the throat, like many other energy drinks on the market. At $1.25 for an 18-ounce bottle, this rate is significantly cheaper than purchasing at supermarket chains like Publix or Kroger. where the same product typically retails from $2.49 to $2.89. Many families with young children notice that this is a rare drink kids willingly consume instead of asking for soda, and they even pour it into popsicle molds to create a cooling dessert that is both delicious and maintains essential electrolyte levels during sweltering days. During peak heat waves, cases of this flavor in the cooler sections often run out fast, and it takes a very long time for the next shipment to arrive. However, there is an item in the home decor section that is also silently cooling down the entire room, using just a thin adhesive layer. 4. Peel and stick wall tiles. The white marble pattern sells out the fastest in this entire product line, and the reason is not hard to guess. This pattern matches almost every home style, from modern to classic. The glossy outer coating resists water and grease quite well, and the printed marble veins are so sharp that they still feel luxurious even upon close inspection. The back features a strong adhesive layer, allowing it to be stuck straight onto the wall without needing any extra glue or tools. The price of just $1.25 per tile means you buy the exact quantity you need, instead of having to commit to a whole box like at Home Depot, where finished wall tiles are usually sold by the roll or in large combos priced up to $40. For a small patch of wall behind the sink or a kitchen corner stained with years of grease, buying individual tiles is clearly much more reasonable. Many people spend less than half an hour retiling an entire old kitchen wall, yet it looks as if they just hired a professional contractor to retile it from scratch. Besides covering yellowed walls or old ceramic tiles, these decal sheets are also frequently used to refresh vanity tops or tea trays or line the bottom of scratched wooden drawers, turning old items into new ones without ever touching a paintbrush. Renters and RV owners are particularly fond of this item because they can renovate their living space without making a long-term commitment like painting walls or installing real tile. 5. Luminescent soy blend candle jars. The 2 scents, eucalyptus mint and lavender vanilla, are currently the 2 most sought-after options on the shelves, partly due to their pleasant, mild aroma, and partly because they fit both living room and bedroom spaces without being overpowering. Natural soy wax is the biggest differentiator of this candle line compared to regular paraffin wax. It burns more evenly, lasts longer, and leaves virtually no black soot on the glass jar or house walls. The Huntington Home line at Aldi costs equivalently up to $5 a jar. For that same amount of money, you can try 4 jars of different scents here instead of a single jar over there. A quick tip when choosing soy wax candles: check the wick right at the store. A straight wick positioned dead center in the jar typically burns more evenly, avoiding a situation where the candle melts unevenly to one side and wastes the remaining wax around it. You should also avoid burning the candle for less than an hour on the very first light, as the melted wax layer will not spread across the entire surface, creating a recessed tunnel in the middle and causing subsequent burns to waste wax unevenly. Deodorizing musty odors in the room is the purpose many people look for first, but the gentle essential oil scent also contributes to relaxing the nerves after a long day. When the candle burns out, the thick glass jar is often washed clean to hold paper clips or cotton swabs, or to serve as a mini bath salt jar, rather than being thrown away immediately like many other cheap candles. There is a next item that is also quietly clearing out a corner in your house, but this time it is inside the refrigerator. 6. Clear plastic storage bins. Ever since refrigerator organization videos went viral on social media, this item has been continuously selling out on weekends, with many people buying 6 to 10 units at a time just to complete a thorough organization project. And once you hold this bin in your hands, it is easy to understand why it is so highly sought after. The long, slim profile is the best-selling model because it fits perfectly in most standard refrigerator shelves today. The sturdy, clear plastic allows you to see right through to the food inside without having to pull out and check every single container, while the built-in handles ensure smooth sliding on the shelves without getting stuck halfway. Target or the Container Store sells similar acrylic bin lines for anywhere from $6 to over $12 a piece, whereas here it is only $1.25 per bin, which is why many people buy a whole set of 6 to 10 units to organize their entire refrigerator in one single sweep. Grouping sauce bottles, small condiment jars, or the egg storage area into separate bins makes cleaning the refrigerator significantly faster. You just lift the entire bin out to wipe it down instead of wiping each shelf one by one. Beyond the refrigerator, these bins are also repurposed to organize spice jars in kitchen cabinets or sort toiletries under the bathroom sink. 7. Be Pure Nail and Cuticle Oil. There is a little tip being shared quite a bit in homemaking groups on Facebook recently. Gently shake the cuticle oil bottle before buying. If you hear the oil flowing loosely instead of feeling thick and viscous, it is a sign that the formula absorbs quickly without leaving a sticky feeling on your hands throughout the day. Some people have even filmed short videos demonstrating how to shake and listen to the oil inside, then pointing out which bottle to pick on the shelf. This bottle is made with almond oil and vitamin E, exactly that lightweight type, and it comes with an included brush applicator, so applying it to each finger is quite neat, without spilling over like using bare hands. The variants infused with honey or aloe vera are running out the fastest on shelves, partly due to their pleasant scent and partly because these two ingredients are well known for soothing dry skin. CVS or Walgreens sells bottles of the same volume for $6 to $9. That price difference is enough to buy a whole set of 3 or 4 bottles while still being cheaper than a single bottle out there. Rough skin around the nails caused by harsh cleaning chemicals or dry weather softens up after a few regular applications, noticeably reducing annoying hangnails. Many people also repurpose the brush applicator to sweep over elbows or ankles, the driest areas where lotions usually have trouble absorbing. 8. Global Beauty Care Biotin Hair Mist. The hair mist spray format is the top seller in the entire line, distributing evenly throughout the hair without soaking it wet like regular liquid sprays. Many people have a habit of spraying it right after washing while the hair is still damp, so the biotin and avocado nutrients have time to absorb into the hair follicles before the hair dries naturally. The formula is vegan and paraben-free, making it quite gentle, even for easily irritated scalps. Sally Beauty or Ulta sells biotin-infused lines from mid-range brands for $8 to $14, while this bottle cost $1.25. Detangling hair almost instantly after spraying is what many people notice most, along with a thin protective layer against the heat of blow dryers, which is particularly suitable for middle-aged women who often experience thinning hair that easily breaks with age. I tried leaving this bottle overnight in my purse and completely forgot about it for a few days. When I took it out to spray again, the nutrients had not changed in scent or color, and my hair was still as bouncy as the first time using it. If you have ever left your hair overnight without washing, you have probably experienced that flat, greasy look glued to the scalp the next morning. Just lightly spraying a layer before leaving the house helps significantly, making the hair look much more voluminous compared to leaving it as is. Quite a few reviews from beauty experts on social media regarding its effectiveness in reducing breakage cause this bottle to usually sell out as soon as it hits the shelves. A few people even leave the bottle in the refrigerator cooler section for a few minutes before spraying on hot days. The chilly sensation spreading across the scalp completely calms that stuffy feeling after a long day out in the sun. But taking care of your hair from the outside is not enough. There is a next bottle that goes straight into the deepest layers of the skin. 9. Peptide Anti-Aging Serum. My next-door neighbor once showed off this serum bottle to me after using it consistently for 3 weeks, saying that the wrinkles around the corners of her eyes were noticeably fading every time she looked in the mirror in the morning. The peptide complex in the formula absorbs quite quickly, without leaving a greasy layer or clogging pores like some other cheap serums I've used before. Just 1 to 2 drops for the entire face is enough. You don't have to use a lot to see a difference. A little tip when picking this serum bottle right off the shelf. Hold it up and look at it under the store lights to see if the liquid inside is clear or slightly cloudy. A clear bottle is usually a sign that the formula hasn't separated from sitting on the shelf for too long. You should also avoid choosing bottles placed near glass windows. Long-term direct sunlight can reduce the activity of the peptides inside, even if the expiration date is still far off. Sephora or major drugstores rarely sell peptide-infused serums for under $15 for an equivalent volume, while this bottle is only $1.25. The skin around the eyes and the corners of the mouth, where fine lines typically appear earliest, is supported to gradually fade thanks to its ability to stimulate natural collagen production. You can mix 1 or 2 drops into your current night cream to boost overnight hydration efficiency without having to buy a new product. This is also the item that generates the biggest hoarding rushes on the entire list, with many people buying 3 to 5 bottles at a time for fear that it will be completely gone the next time they visit. If you plan to buy in bulk for gradual use, it's best to ask the staff for the delivery truck schedule, as a fresh batch is always newer compared to a lot that has been sitting on the shelf for a few weeks. Let's step away from the cosmetics section for a moment, because the next item is sought after by parents just as much as the serum we just talked about, and it is located right in the kitchenware section. 10. Bento lunchboxes. The back-to-school season is approaching, and there is an item in the plastic houseware section that gets wiped clean from the shelves by parents every year within just the first few days of August. 3 clearly separated compartments are what make this box completely different from regular plastic containers. Food won't mix smells with one another during transit, which is especially convenient when carrying both savory dishes and fruit in the same box. The 4 locking latches around the lid resist spills quite securely, and with an included rubber gasket, carrying it sideways or vertically in a tote bag leaves no worries about sauce leaking out. The plastic is safe and BPA-free, and it is microwave safe, so you can reheat food directly without having to pour it into another container. Mint green and neutral gray are the 2 colors that disappear fastest from the shelves, partly because the neutrals easily match carrying bags, and partly because they aren't overly bright like some other colors in the line. A similar box at Walmart usually costs $3.50 to $5, while here it is only $1.25. Not a few families buy several of them in advance to store nuts and dried fruits to bring along on long road trips, avoiding the scenario of pulling over to stop at roadside snack shops. 11. Pop-It fidget toys. A few seconds of popping through the entire silicone board, then flipping it over to keep popping, just that alone in a video clip once sent an entire generation of parents and office workers scrambling to buy it at all costs. Since then, this toy, which used to just sit quietly in the corner of the children's toy shelves, started disappearing so fast that staff didn't even have time to restock it before it sold out completely. The beauty of it lies in the fact that the medical-grade silicone used to make this popping board is both durable and soft. Popping it hundreds of times won't produce an annoying clacking sound like hard plastic toys, and it washes clean right under soapy water, making it reusable countless times rather than a single-use item. Funny animal shapes and multicolored rainbow boards are the 2 models that vanish from the shelves the fastest. Not because kids like them, but because adults themselves compete to buy them to place next to their desks, popping them during stressful meetings or while waiting for the phone to ring. A price of $1.25 sounds ordinary, until you realize that the exact same item at Five Below or bookstores is never under $3. Another use that few people guess right from the start is that, thanks to the heat-resistant properties of silicone, this board can also be flipped upside down to place under cold drink glasses on glass tables, being both anti-slip and catching condensation, which is much more convenient than using paper towels. In the summer, when families begin traveling a lot for long flights and vacations, this item moves even faster, simply because it is a rare thing that keeps a child sitting still throughout the journey without needing a phone screen. There is one final item on this list that is even more controversial than the topic of price, because everyone thinks only Costco can sell it this cheap. 12. Haribo Goldbears gummy candy. Many people are surprised to learn that these are 100% authentic imported Haribo products, not repackaged knockoffs, while the price is just on par with ordinary domestic candies. It features the signature chewy texture and flavors extracted from natural fruit juice without using harmful artificial colorings, strictly adhering to the global quality standards of this brand. The traditional Goldbears flavor pack is the top seller. Almost no other version can compete with the appeal of the classic Goldbears. A price of $1.25 for a 4 to 5 ounce bag might sound ordinary, but when calculated by the unit price per ounce, this rate is actually better than buying individual packs at gas stations, which are notorious for selling snacks at much higher prices. Although Costco sells massive bulk boxes that seem more economical overall, for someone who just wants a modest snack without hoarding a whole box in the house, the small packaging size here is much more reasonable. It is both easy to carry in a purse and helps control sugar intake each time. The candy racks near the checkout lanes are places that rarely keep stock for long. Someone mentioned that employees sometimes have to hide a few bags under the counter, waiting until the next shift to display them again. If they put them all out at once, just a busy weekend alone is enough to leave the entire row completely empty, largely because this is the most convenient item to toss into the basket while waiting to check out, without needing to walk back to the aisles. The 12 items priced around $1.25 just now are only the tip of the iceberg. There are still many other corners in the store that haven't been mentioned yet. If there is any item on this list you plan to try buying this very week before they sell out completely, just like previous times,